Well, good evening. I'm Dewan, and I am here along with Ryan and Audrey, and we are here for Experience Mid Valley Fellowship, kind of our weekly kind of view into what happens at Tuesday night programs. We also actually do it on Thursdays as well, so that's kind of cool. But tonight, so Audrey, what's your role at Mid Valley Fellowship?
I am an intern this year. Just started in September, so I'm finishing my second month, and that is an amazing program. It's an amazing program to just teach leadership and bring us further into the healing process and teach us how to work better with others.
Cool. It's on Tuesday nights. What's your part that you play in support programs?
I will occasionally be able to lead a group, which is amazing. But other than that, I am co-facilitator with one of the small groups with Angela.
Yeah. So you have a group of women that you're kind of investing in and all that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just amazing to be able to hear their stories, hear what they do, where they've been from, and be able to just walk with them in this journey of healing.
Cool. Yeah. And Ryan, you were an intern in the past also, right? Mm-hmm. So what's your role typically on Tuesday nights?
So on Tuesday nights, the interns typically they set up, tear down.
Sorry, what's your role now?
My role
you
now
used to be an intern.
Yes, yeah. My role now, I no longer have to set up because I'm no longer an intern. That's now her job.
So what's your role now?
My job now is I facilitate lessons as well as lead a small group of guys. Yeah.
So tonight you're actually facilitating a lesson, right?
Yes. I am facilitating a lesson in Clean Heart Year 1, which is our program for men struggling with sexual addiction. The lesson tonight is called A Sexy Brain / Help Someone Hijack My Brain. And it's a lesson that's really all about like how the brain functions, the parts of the brain, as well as sort of specifics of what goes wrong in the brain when you're dealing with addiction.
That was going to be my question: is why are we talking about the brain stuff?
Because it's an important thing to know. Like, because if you don't understand what's going on in your brain, you really don't know what you're trying to fight and what you're trying to do to overcome addiction.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to be facilitating actually in Clean Heart Year 2, which is the second year of the program. So the guys that Ryan's going to be facilitating will be in second year next year, and so these are the guys from last year. And we're digging into trauma, which is another piece of that. One of the really important concepts from the lessons. This is actually the first of 4 lessons, but is that when we know the trauma story, then we know the addiction story. So that this trauma tends to drive addiction, or more specifically, our desire to medicate the pain of the trauma. We do that often in addiction. And so really understanding, okay, what are the traumatic things that I've experienced and how have they affected me? And how do I then sort of interact with those and address those in a healthy way rather than by trying to avoid them with addiction or other things. So we're going to start plowing into that tonight. And again, this is the first of 4 lessons, really hard section of the year for the guys. So we're jumping right in because we're on week, whatever it is, 4. So it's time. So we're jumping in. Also with Hope Together Year 1. And what is Hope Together? What is that for? Do you remember?
Do I remember?
Yeah. Audrey's new this year. We're giving her the hard questions.
I knew you were going to do that. Hope Together is for spouses of those who were addicted to pornography or sex addiction.
Yeah.
And so this is walking them through the betrayal trauma that they went through.
Yeah, exactly.
Or going through.
Yeah, see, that's no problem.
Okay,
so they're going to be talking about personal empowerment tonight as their topic. And then also the year 2 of that same group is going to be talking about the mask of codependency. Often that is kind of interspersed in relationships, that in marriages that have addiction, a part of them, especially sexual addiction. The codependency tends to be a piece of that. So they're going to be talking about that in second year. And then in Mending the Soul, what is Mending the Soul for, Ryan?
It's for survivors of abuse.
Yeah. And so they're going to be digging in we've been doing some introductory lessons, but now they're going to actually get into the Mending the Soul curriculum and beginning to talk about kind of foundational beliefs and core things that can go wrong when abuse is present that can kind of skew our perspective on that. And then in Taking Back Ground, so Taking Back Ground is for men and women who are struggling with unwanted same-sex desires. So they're going to be talking about masculinity. What does healthy masculinity look like? In case you're wondering, next week they're going to be talking about what healthy femininity looks like. So, but tonight it's that. And then Clean Heart for Women. And what is Clean Heart for Women, Brian?
Well, it's like our Clean Heart program, but for women.
Very good. Yes.
So women who struggle with sexual addiction, love addiction.
Yeah. And so they're going to be talking, their lesson tonight is called Adult Attachment. So what does it look like to have healthy relationships, healthy attachment with other people? Because often in addiction, there's also attachment issues where we don't know how to relate properly with other people. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. So a lot of these are really heavy topics, right? I mean, difficult things that we're helping people walk through. And so in that, it definitely is a spiritual battle. And so we value your prayers and your partnership in this. So I encourage you to share this video or like this video, let other people know about it, but also for you to be praying tonight. We have a whole prayer team who's here, and then we also have an offsite prayer team that prays during the week. We would love for you to be praying with us also. So I want to encourage you, challenge you to do that. And just so that I've said it, we also have a benefit dinner coming up in about a week and a half. And so actually, can I spoil the surprise? Maybe.
Go ahead.
So Audrey is one of the people who's going to be sharing her story at the benefit dinner as well. And so if you want to hear more of Audrey's story, along with some other amazing stories, it would be great to show up to the benefit dinner. You can learn all about that, midvalleyfellowship.org/benefit. Now is the time we're making decisions, though, because the RSVP deadline was actually last Friday. We're still kind of taking some RSVPs, so you can probably get in there if you ask really nicely. But anyway, so do that, though, midvalleyfellowship.org/benefit. It's going to be on November 3rd. It's going to be a great evening, a great opportunity to hear more about the ministry. And then we're going to be back here also on Thursday, also at 5:45 roughly. And we'll be back here again next Tuesday for Experience Mid-Valley Fellowship. But for now, thanks for dropping in, and we'll see you next time.